What's going on, my pretty pandas? It's your huggable hipster here, and welcome back to another Gamers Talk, Gamers Talk, save points. So in today's Gamers Talk, I literally had nothing planned. This is on the spot, on the fly, on the wing fly. What the hell? This is something that's on the spot. It's on the fly. Okay? I have nothing planned for this Gamers Talk episode, but I thought of something. I was sitting in the quiet by myself, which is normally what I do. And I was thinking, Ariel, what has been one of the most evolutionary pieces in a game that has ever been in a game? What has been one of the most evolutionary things to ever happen from point A to point game? And it's the save points. It's the save mechanisms within a video game. So today we are going to be talking about how the save mechanisms have changed in video games from not when they were first created, because you really didn't have many save mechanism kind of thingamabobbers whenever they were created. You would just play a game and then you would just start over the game, because there wasn't really many stories in video games whenever they first started. You got Pac-Man, you got SpongeBob, you got all those kinds of things. Actually, SpongeBob was more my generation back in the early 2000s, late 90s. But when you got into stuff like Resident Evil, Outlast, a lot of things like that, even before that, Scooby-Doo even. I'm one of those people that played the original Scooby-Doo game. Holla at you, boy. You needed a save mechanism, and in the GameCube you had the save cards, those wonderful magical things that I always somehow lost. I swear, I think I even still have some. I just don't know where they are. I have no clue what any of my own save cards are. And then from save cards you went on to the game automatically saving at certain points, like Outlast, like Resident Evil has now. But whenever you first played Resident Evil, on the GameCube especially, you needed a save card in order to save your progress. Funny story, I remember doing a speed run. Before speed runs were even a thing, I think I might actually come up with the speed run. I remember doing a speedrun of Resident Evil 0, and it got up to a point of where I was almost done with the first disc. For you old school people out there, Resident Evil 0 for the GameCube was split into 2 discs. So you had one disc for the first part of the game, and then another disc for the other part. I feel so freaking old right now. And that's how they split it up. They even split it up with the Resident... Actually, hold on. I have an example of this. So both Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0, I'm never going to give these up. I remember one person asking me, are you ever going to sell your Resident Evil copies? These two, no, because this was the very first game I was ever given, so that's not going anywhere. You had two games that you had to put into the GameCube. I think this part went up to where the what is it, that boss battle where you had to fight the plant with the V something? It had the V virus or something like that. I don't know. But it went up to the part where you had to fight the plant, and then you had to put in the second disc after that to go into the next part of the game, which was fighting Lisa and all that kind of thing, which makes no sense whenever you think about it, because after you get out of the situation with the entire plant, you really don't have that much of the game left. If you do a thorough speed run, like you have the plant fight, and then you investigate the other rooms in the house with like the final mansion key, and then you have the laboratory section, which isn't that long of a part. You just have to figure out a password, get a few things, transfer something, well, because you can't run or else it'll explode, defeat a tyrant, and that's it, you're done. Like, there really isn't much left after you battle that plant. So to split it up into 2 parts for this, I don't understand, but whenever you get to Resident Evil 0 and you split it up into 2 parts with these 2 discs, which... memory lane, you guys. It's necessary because the point in which it's cut off and you have to put in the second disc is where any of my players who have played Resident Evil 0 or who have seen my playthrough, that part where you have to put in the 3 tablets. No, not an iPad. You have to put in the 3 tablets, and that opens up the observatory so you can go into the other mansion. There's just a lot of mansions in the Resident Evil series. Well, you have to go into the other mansion, and you have to go to the second part, and the second part is a long-ish part of the game. It's reasonable why they put it into a second disc. But yeah, that's how they did that kind of mechanism back in the early 2000s. It would split things into 2 discs, so it not only made saving the game easier, but it would make everything flow a lot easier. That was their mentality back then, I'm guessing. But to put everything into a perspective that now it's all digital makes it even more crazy, because the save processes are all automatic for most of the time. Like if you see an Outlast, you have all of the save points. Once you get to a certain point, it just saves automatically, which is good and bad, because you don't remember to save your progress manually. And that's a little bit of a faux pas that I made whenever I first played Outlast, and it was on my MacBook. Ugh. Whenever I first played Outlast, I forgot to manually save, even though it saved at a part like way before, like it was before like a main cutscene. Whenever you got to the top of the roof and you got to meet that one crazy dude that said, "It's all a lie, aliens, man, aliens." You got to a certain point where I didn't think you needed to save, because I thought it saved automatically. This hipster didn't save at all, and she had to redo that entire part all over again. I hate whenever I have to redo parts like that all over again. It just annoys me, because the response after that is not genuine. It's like, I'm slightly annoyed. Actually, Resident Evil Revelations, you have just a little flashing light. It's the same with the Resident Evil 6 too. It lets you know that it's saving by, hey, there's a flashing light. You gotta pay attention that the game is saving. But some players don't even pay attention that the game is saving, because they're so enthralled and so just with the game at the moment that they either forget to manually save, or the save progress notifications are not even necessary. Which, do I think that the save points are needed? To an extent, yeah, because nowadays people just forget to save manually, like I've said. But if you're saving manually every 5 seconds just to be sure that your game is saved, it's kind of tedious. And Resident Evil 4 is a big advocate of letting you know that you need to save your game, even though checkpoints are there, even though you have a lot of things that let you know that it's saving. Save your game and save your life. Save your life and save the game. Because I can't count how many times within Resident Evil 4 I thought I saved, but I really didn't, and then I have to film a part all over again because I didn't save and I was stupid. So I know that wasn't much of a hefty topic to cover, because, you know, save points, there's not really much you can go into on the history of save points in video games. But it is interesting to see how far we've come in terms of how games are saved. And I just, oh gosh, those little cards they used to use in the GameCube, and then you had and then on the Wii they had like the little save slot things. You could still use the memory cards and everything like that, but they had a section where you could just save it automatically on the Wii, and that was like, whoa, that was like big news for everybody, because everybody got so hyped that the Wii you could just automatically save, and you didn't need a card to do that. Then when games started saving automatically, you didn't need any cards, you didn't need anything. They just saved, which I think is cool. And I think that technology is going to go even further with save points. I don't know how far it's going to go. I think we've reached our max with this, but we'll see how far we can go with the save points. But if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below, because I make videos every weekday. Stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will talk to you all in tomorrow's video. Peace. Coffee, coffee, zoom, zoom, coffee, coffee, zoom, zoom. Dribbling coffee. Oh, frick. And then we go back to the frick. Frick. It's a good thing that game controllers don't have handy dandy. Oh, can you just save automatically? Can't you just press a button and that automatically save your game? That would be awesome if there were like a little button down here. You could just like save your game automatically. That'd be cool. But no. Xbox, step up your game. Microsoft, step up your game. PlayStation, step up your game. Wii. Ah, frick. No, frick, I hit my hand. Frick. Frick. Oh. What? Oh, frick. Okay. Did I just do this video with lipstick on my face? Oh.